Hello, and welcome to your Hobby Connection Road Trippin'. Right now, I'm driving all the way out to Houston, Texas from San Antonio to go look at a gentleman's train show. Well, I say train show because he's going to show me all of his trains, tell me his stories. His name is Bill. We're going to have a great time. This is a great reason to go out there. Well, we just got to Bill's house. Let us go check out the trains today. Oh, by the way, I'm probably going to end up buying some train stuff from Bill. Well, some more train stuff from Bill. I met Bill when I was at the New Braunfels train show earlier in October. So we hit it off really good. I bought a bunch of train stuff from him. And the other day he reached out to me and said, "Hey Ben, I'm selling some train stuff. You want to buy some?" And I said, "All right, I'm in." And that's where we're at. So come on, let's go meet Bill.
Hi, I'm Bill, and welcome to my den of iniquity, my world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's go take a look at your layout then, shall we?
This is my layout. It is a throwback to the 50s. There's nothing fancy about it. I'm not artistic. I don't do very well at landscaping, so I get my daughter to put everything together. And this is the fourth layout that I have built since 1952. My oldest train over there it's a Lionel. I got it for Christmas. Santa brought it to me and some others. There are things around here that I have grown up with that reflect history of my family, my own experiences in life, and what I like to do. One thing about my train room, my wife knows that she knows where to find me. So I'm not running the streets. I've got one section here that is really under construction. It's what I call my Super O circle. And this is going to be made up of Lionel track dating back to the late 50s, early 60s. It has a lot of personality in here. All of these signs with road names of railroad companies throughout the country. Over there in the corner is a corner dedicated to my dad. Globes there they reflect grandfathers and uncles. There are a lot of things in here that are old. A lot of things that are interested. Can you shoot those little signs up there?
Yes, I can.
All of those little signs came out of Post Sugar Crisp back in 1956. They are real collector's items. Out of those Post, there were 28 of those road names that came out, and I have 25. There are other things that are unusual here. The guns on the end down there, those are 50 caliber black powder reproductions. They do work. Another story. Come over here. I want to point out the door, the mahogany door that came off an old cabin cruiser dated back in the early 30s. It was half in and out of water down on the San Jacinto River. One of my bank customers, I had gone down to look at a tugboat that I was going to finance for him and saw this cruiser there and went back and asked about the boat because it had teakwood all over it. And that door. And anyway, I took the door off and it's followed me to here. I still have the teakwood that I use to make things out of. But here again, goes back a long, long time. And being a woodworker, all of this that you see was done with my hands. What other points of interest? Oh, I got my first train when I was 8 years old.
Let's go take a look at that.
Things went one after another. My first layout was on a 4x8 table, and then it grew, then it was dismantled and stored away. I married, had kids, started reworking on trains, and had a building in our backyard where I built another layout that had a lot of this stuff in there. And then we moved to here, and I added this room on so I could have a bigger train room and get more stuff. Now I'm getting rid of stuff. But there are some real memories in here for me that are really special. Everything I do seems to have a story around it. And some things are really special. There's some things in here that are really old. Point out the family branding iron, that dates back to 1900. It's been re-registered, and I can brand a cow with it.
Have you branded one with it?
I've never used it, but it is official, and it's registered in Wharton County, and the certificate is there. So, trying to think of some other special things. You've got the Martin & Schwartz gasoline pump, all original.
And what year is that one?
1953.
And you said you took all the guts out of it, right?
I did. All except the front. There's still some things in there. But this thing weighed hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And there was a fellow that I knew that he restored gas pumps. His name was Larry Wingate. Larry lived up just north of Waco and had a place there. And I was driving by, going up, and I stopped to see, and he had this one that I could afford. And so anyway, my memorabilia from Army days.
Quite a bit of stuff there.
Well, I was an expert with a rifle and a .45 pistol.
Okay.
I also, this was an AIB, or the infantry badge, and this was 3rd Army in the United States when I was at Fort Gordon, Georgia, outside of Augusta, and then the 24th Infantry Division in Germany was down in Augsburg, Germany.
Okay.
Good conduct and national medal.
That's cool.
No bullet holes.
No Purple Hearts, so that's a good thing. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have come back whole if you had a hole in you.
No, but the expert infantry badge was done strictly to earn a medal. Not a medal, but a rank. Where I was in a small group, small company, and our company commander, they needed somebody to go to this group because they had did 60 days. He said, look, if you get in the top 5, I'll give you E5. I got number 3.
Oh, nice. So you got your E5.
I did get my E5. And they were kind of surprised because I did not miss any rounds with the .45. I shot 50, hit all 50. And then, of course, to expert firing again, I missed, I think, 1 target.
Oh, wow.
This sand came off of Omaha Beach, Normandy, France. On my bucket list, being a World War II history buff, I always looked into this history, and I thought, this is something that I'd like to have. And I planned it out, got the sand, and managed to get it in my luggage and got it basically smuggled into the country.
I assume that they don't want people stealing Normandy Beach sand.
Well, it's not the sand. They didn't care. And I had about 10 pounds. I had this orchestrated. My daughters were on the beach, one with a camera and one with a video, taking a picture of me, putting it in Ziploc bags. And when I got on the bus we were traveling on, I had a funnel, put it in these. And then when we were leaving Paris, I packed the sand in my luggage. We were flying into Philadelphia, and about an hour out, they hand out the cards to your declaring cards and what you're going to declare. And the first thing on the card says you cannot bring in dirt or fruit or stuff like that. I got up, went back to the back of the airplane to see the flight attendants. I said, "Hey girls, I've got a problem." Well, they were really concerned about things. I said, "Here's what the deal is." So I was telling them about my sand. I said, "What do I do?" Because when you go into to check in and all, they check your luggage and all, and they said, "Don't say anything." Well, we're in line and we're waiting, and there's a girl in front of us, and she's from France, and poor thing is crying like everything because the agent is just really going over her and questioning why she's there. And so they take her over so they can go over with another check, and I'm sweating bullets. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my sand. And so the fellow says, "You have your passports?" I give them to him. He says, "How many in your group?" And I said, "Well, it's my wife and my daughter and son-in-law are going through the other line because they have a watch to declare." He looks at me and looks at our passports, looks at me again, and I'm talking, okay, I'm thinking, here it comes. And he says, "Where are you from?" And he said, "You want to know where I'm from?" I said, "Well, I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm a suburb." And he says, "How far are you from Austin?" And so what he's trying to do is make sure what I'm telling is the truth. So I tell him, and I thought, well, what's going to happen? He says, "Well, here are your passports. Have a good trip home." So I dodged a bullet. Got home with my sand. Very important. Just see.
Oh, I mean, like you said, it's some sacred sand right there.
Oh, it really is. And so anyway, there's the National Museum in New Orleans, and it's World War II, and we were there on a trip, and looking around, and I was going downstairs, and I stopped to ask the ladies. I said, "Do y'all have any sacred sand?" She said, "No," and I said, "Well, I do." And she wanted to know if they could have some of it. Wanted to know how I documented it and everything. And it's documented, but I would not let them have it.
Why is that?
Well, I was just kind of surprised. But another part of that story is Stephen Ambrose is an author. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a historian. Stephen Ambrose is responsible for having the museum in New Orleans constructed. And the location is on the Higgins family property that they own. They were building landing boats back in World War II. And I'm going up, and he's there. He's all dressed up, and I'm talking with him. And he's asking questions and so forth and so on. And then I go up and go through, and then we leave. He did not introduce himself, and it dawned on me after we left who he was. And I kicked myself for not talking to him and getting his autograph. Anyway, it's just one of those things that just happened.
Oh, no doubt.
So what else?
Well, why don't you go show us the train set that your dad helped you get?
Well, the first one.
Yes, sir.
You want to go over there?
Mm-hmm. That's so we can get a better look at your layout and how big your room truly is.
Do you want this to run?
Yeah, we'll have it turned on here a little bit.
This is a Lionel little alcove, the full set. This was my first train set. This was my second. Then all these others just followed suit. But this one is very special. This is what's called the Pensa E5 set. And more trains that are old, who they belong to, me.
So where'd you get the lanterns from? The train lanterns.
Let's see which one I want to show you. Well, I found these at various places, but this one is special because it's Rock Island. And I found somebody advertising some train stuff and called him. And he said, well, I've got 2 of these. And he said, I received this when I retired. And asked him if he was willing to sell it. Said he was. So I bought it. These others, we just have to look at the names, but they're...
did they actually serve on the real railroads? Or
they really did. This one was, all of them were used, except maybe this one. Let's see. All right. This one was Special Agent Jim Beatty, who was Union Pacific Railroad Police Department. And I found this at a museum. Or no, it was at I guess it was an antique store. And I thought, why would they want to get rid of that? But they did.
And it's now yours.
It's now mine. I'm not sure what else there is to show.
Well, I see you have a bunch of train cars along your walls. What do we got about that?
Well, the Texas Special is the post-war set, 1954-55. This belonged to my wife's cousin that he gave me. And tank cars, SO, and various other ones that are not real special, but the SO and Humble and Exxon are all related. Very rare.
Is it porcelain?
This is porcelain on metal.
Oh, wow.
I found these buried in a box in an antique store in Wallace, Texas. The person there had all kinds of gasoline memorabilia. And the story behind this, there was a distributor in Victoria, Texas, and he got these belt buckles made for all of his truck drivers. And this is, I don't know, 30 years ago. And so anyway, there were 6 of these in the box. And I just, by luck, I found them buried under there. Nobody had found them. And I did, and he sold them real cheap. And there were 6 in there, and I have 4 left. 2 left. The other 4 have gone various ways to various people. And their families were related, their dads and all, they worked for Humble. So it went a long way with them because of what it was. And so my dad.
Did he work for the railroad? He worked for that railroad?
My dad? Mm-hmm. No, he worked for Humble Oil.
Oh, that's right, oil. I was thinking trains. So what got, besides your dad taking you to work to buy your first train set, what else got you interested in trains besides that?
Well, I just like playing with trains. And of course, Santa brought that first one to me, brought the second one to me. And I just like trains. Trains, for as long as I can remember, have been an interest of a lot of people that I know in my age, and young people now. And so trains have never changed. The hobby has changed. What's available in the market has changed, but the enthusiasm with trains by all ages is still there.
So you have 2 tracks on top of your
I
walls
do.
here?
There are 2 tracks up there. Can we turn them on?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's look at them.
Okay. It will get noisy.
That's part of the hobby, though.
Whoa! We had an accident.
And the other part of the fun is fixing mistakes when they happen.
This got caught in the track. That's what threw it.
Oh, wow. How'd that happen? All right, let's try that again.
I still have one off the track.
Hey, Bill, the one on that gondola, it's also off.
So how do you manage all this chaos? I don't. I have to watch it very carefully. And we do make mistakes.
Have you ever had a derail up top that caused an issue? So, now that you showed us your layout, like, you told us a little bit how you got into it, but what kept you in it?
Oh, the enthusiasm and the camaraderie with people. And I'm in several organizations, and I enjoy the relationships with these people, and I enjoy working with the training layout that our organization has. Because of physical situations, I can't do as what I used to be, and the older I get, the harder it is. And so I think it depends on what you want out of it. And I'm at the point now where the relationships that I have with some of these guys, it just really makes it worthwhile. And when I compare what I can do physically and what I can do mentally, when it comes to train stuff and electrical, I'm at the bottom of the ladder. I know some guys that are really knowledgeable in electronics, very skilled in landscaping and all that, and I'm nothing. This is what you see.
Well, you told me you had, as you called it, Plasticville, which even you didn't design. It was your daughter, right?
Oh yeah. And because she's very organized, and she cleaned it off and put everything in a box or whatever, set it in there. She started putting it out piece by piece, and this is where we are. There's one thing that I did add was the Bluebell ice cream.
Okay.
I probably went through 10 gallons of ice cream to get all of those things off the off the cartons.
Well, I mean, I've never heard of ice cream being a bad thing for you, but the good news is you actually got to eat and enjoy it while you were doing it.
And so it's true Bluebell.
Straight from the box.
Straight from the box, yeah. And we were at the Bluebell Creamery up in Brenham, I don't know how many years ago, and we took some kids up there with us, and I went into the gift shop, and they had this. And so...
Oh, wow, it's
So I got the Bluebell.
Is that a Model T? Or some kind of, I don't know.
It's some kind of old...
I don't know my cars. That's a car guru, guys.
I don't either. And
let's make sure it's not too close to the tracks. Don't want another derailment.
And so whenever we got the Bluebell box car for our convention car, we had a hard time getting them to settle on styles and colors. They kept changing things. And finally, the TCA rep, Tom Rogers, that was doing this one, he said, okay, look, this is the way it's got to be. So they agreed to it. And what we were going to do is give them some cars. And I don't know what happened, but they said, well, we don't want them, surprisingly. So they didn't get any for their store or their gift shop or anything. So that was the extent of them.
Well, I love the detailing of the little angle cocks and the glad hands. That's a beautiful addition.
And you have to be real careful. These little steps are plastic, and you just got to be careful. Don't grab it there because they break.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, because I had one. It's very similar boxcar, the Santa Fe, and I
made the mistake.
And I did, and I grabbed it there and broke it. Well, I glued it back, and it's okay, but I've got to be real careful with it.
I understand that.
And so, but there are no other unusual specialty cars. There is one over there, though, that is, it's the Galveston Port boxcar, and it's very hard to find. It's quite rare. And I have 4 of those that I got from Toby Thorson down in Texas City.
How did you steal those?
Well, I didn't steal, I tell you.
You probably didn't steal for sure, but...
No, boy, I didn't steal these, and they're really rare. And if I sold any, they would be, I'd be hard and firm about a price on them.
No, I'm sure a couple $100 a car because they're so rare, like you said.
I don't know about how, but they're hard to find, and yeah, it'd be tough. If somebody asked me about that, and I thought, this is it. You know, I don't need to get rid of them.
Well, I mean, you have so many other things. Why would you want to get rid of anything?
This is the Galveston Port.
Oh, wow.
Or Galveston Wars, rather. And
isn't that where they're going to put the Battleship Texas at?
I don't know.
That's what I've heard. I thought it was somewhere in Galveston that they're going to try to put it.
Well, you're talking about the battleship?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Apparently there's a disagreement as to where it's going to be. I know that there's been a lot of discussion about it, but as to where it's going to be placed, I don't know yet.
But Galveston Wars is one of those places on the list of where it might go, right?
It could very well be. I know where the Fertitta, the restaurant owner, I know where he likes. I think he'd like to put it next to where the Landry's Fisherman's Wharf restaurant is, but I don't know. It remains to be seen. But whenever these were made by the Galveston group, Lionel has a minimum order of 250, and they usually limit it to that. And these came out, I don't know how many years ago. They're rare and they're expensive. If you found one for cheap, let me know and I'll buy it.
Because you want to have a complete set of them?
Well, it's not a set; it's just numbers, and so, like I say, I've got 4. I would get rid of 2 maybe, but not all of them. And I don't know what kind of price I'd put on them though, but it wouldn't be cheap. And it's not the money; it's that you can say, I have one of those, and it's rare.
It's only 250 made.
That's
or
right.
The number
That's
is.
right.
Did they have any paperwork that came with it saying, one of whatever? Or
I've got the boxes down under there somewhere. And
also, it'll actually have what serial number it was, right?
No.
But they don't have a run number. Oh, that's sad.
No.
You would have thought, with such a rare car like that, they would have put a run number.
Well,
like on the bottom, like 1 of 200 or
it
2
could
of
be
200.
here, but my eyes, I can't see it because the printing is so small. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But it's a neat car.
Oh, definitely.
And I have, and see, I've had these, I'm not sure how many years now, but I also have some that I found in a collection that it's the Savannah, Georgia port.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's Georgia, right? Georgia,
Yep.
Savannah?
Georgia.
Nice. Well, Bill, I hate to say it, but I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss not being here. I'm going to have to make it a point to come here more often because, let's be honest, you have a beautiful layout. You have Plasticville, which, we could use some more lighting. And
well, this is the next part. Really, I want to...
You want to make Christmasville a thing now?
Well, it'll be just here. My objective is to get this part down for my accessories, and it's just, I know how I want the track design. I know how I want it done. I just need to have time to do it. Well, this past year's been kind of rough on me. So.
If you need a spry young guy to help you out, I'm your guy, and I'm sure all of you guys would be more than happy to come out and say, "Hey, Bill, how do you want us to help you build your layout? We'll be your hands and worker bees." Or I will, anyways, because trains, you just say the magic word, you go, "Hey, Ben, I've got a train project." And I'll be like, when, where, and how can I get there?
Well, the main thing is I am good at, I can wire it and put it together. I cannot landscape it, but I can wire it.
Well, that's what brilliant minds are there for, because
yeah.
where there's a will, there's a way, and if you don't know it, there's a YouTube video about it, which...
No, you call Joe Miller. That's who you call. Joe's the genius.
Joe the genius? Well...
and get him down on your level.
Well, from what you said, he sounds like he's a rocket engineer, and we're just, lowly train engineers. So
he is big time. He is the one.
I would try to talk to him, but it'll probably be like right over my head. Be like, the whatchamawada blah blah blah.
He would. He'd sail over your head. But my buddy down there, my other close friend, David Pearsall, he and I are on the same level. And when we talk to Joe, and we take Joe to lunch every once in a while, and we have to get him on our level so we can understand.
I hear you there.
He's just too smart. He is just too smart.
Some people just have that knack, that ability to go, I know this and I can teach you all about it. And then other people go, I have no idea what you just told me, but you sound like amazingly smart.
Well, there's some other guys. Tom Lytle, he's another one that's very skilled in electronics. And Walt, and I don't know Walt's last name. He is the landscape expert. And he and Walt and Tom are doing a layout down at the museum, at the Rosenberg Museum in Richmond. All right, Rosenberg. And I've been down there and I've helped him on some of the stuff, just a little bit, but it's pretty hard to tell him what to do, and so you just go and look and just support him.
That's always the hardest part, is just looking and not getting something else. Because you always want to buy more. You're just like, more!
Well, see, I'm downsizing. Big difference.
Yeah, but you always, I don't know about you, but I've always gotten that thrill of, I see a train and I go, oh, I want something like that, or I like this, I want this. And you just get that inner child excitement of going, oh, it's beautiful, I want, must touch. Oh, can't afford. Or you're going, oh no, I can't, I'm supposed to be downsizing, not upsizing.
All it takes is money.
Well, that's half the hobby fight, isn't it? Going, oh, I want that beautiful train, and it's $2,800. Oh, well, time to save my pennies. And 25 years later going, I finally have enough money to buy that locomotive, and I can't find it now.
That's right.
So,
anyway.
Well, Bill, I appreciate your time. I mean, you have been amazing. This is an amazing layout. And
well, you got more than you bargained for from New Braunfels, didn't you?
Well, I mean, that's the place to go, is meet somebody at a train museum. Or not train museum, I'm sorry, at a train show, and next thing you know, you're invited to their house, trying to buy more train stuff and look at a train layout, and then you get on YouTube, and it all spirals downhill from there. Well, we'll see you guys later, and stay on the rails. Welcome back. Now that we've met Bill, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. He has an amazing story, and I just wish I had more time to spend with him. I wish I had a lot closer commute, because the guy is so full of information. You only got to see a short snippet of all the stories and the history and the lineage that he talked about. But I got to spend the whole day with Bill. And I tell you what, the stories he has, the history he has, the whole part of him is just so entrenched in trains and history. So I hope it bled through. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you did, like, subscribe, share the video. I mean, I want to be a better creator. So if you see any comments or concerns, let me know. I will do my best to make it up to you guys and improve the videos as we move forward. At some point, I would like to spend several days with Bill and just record and just get his stories and understand what makes him tick and help give tips and tricks and just ideas on how to do things. As you saw, Bill was not a very, as he called it, creative guy. But he built a wonderful layout, and he had help from others. And that's what we're all about here at Your Hobby Connection, is helping you to connect your hobbies. And as you saw, Bill has trains, he has planes, he has signs, he has bells, he has steins, he has farming equipment. I mean, he has it all in his room. So why are we limiting ourselves to just trains? We should have whatever we love as part of our hobby and integrate them to each other. I mean, he had the Bluebell building, which I hope I got a good photo of. He had those passenger cars that you could see in the background. He even had those beautiful Bluebell cars and that Galveston rail car that I got to show you guys as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, hanging out with you guys, and showing you more about this hobby and giving you more information and show you some amazing layouts. Catch you on the high iron.